I haven't seen this yet. Let's just watch this.
Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka... And we are back with another X thread. On that note, here's the worst take I can possibly think of. Today our Twitter thread is about boomer cards because I'm trying to cash in on that hot Yu-Gi-Oh nostalgia that always gets clicks. While I'm definitely a rotation enjoyer, a lot of individuals always parrot the same line back at me when I try to preach it to them. They say, Joseph, how cool is it that all of these old cards are still playable? So today we're going to look at those old cards and see how neat it is that cards printed in 2002 are still good in 2023. And I think
I will say this is cool, and this is one argument that's always used against rotation. I will say, though, this does not conflict with rotation, because I'm not saying I'm pro rotation. I don't want to open that. I don't want to open that discussion right now. But what, for example, the Pokemon TCG does with those cool staples is they just reprint them into the new rotation set, right? Like, it's just not that. That is not a killer argument against rotation, right? You could have a rotation and then reprint the staple cards, and that would be completely fine, right? You know?
the poster child for this is Book of Moon, a card that's been on and off playable since its original printing. It's weaved in and out of multiple different formats and metagames, and is currently enjoying a ton of playability because of its applications against some of the top decks. I love this card right now. I'm playing it, and I can't wait to play more of it when they finally deal with Unchained. Let's see what you all came up with. This card's been good pretty much the entire...
What do you mean, finally deal with Unchained, dude? That deck is new. Like, come on. Like, actually, I think... Chat. One of the... Holy shit, what did I do? Why did it do that? Anyways. One of the... We saw your food exposed. Yeah, it's potato soup. It's insane. Anyways. One of the weirdest things to say right now in Yu-Gi-Oh! One of the weirdest thing to say in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now is complaining about Unchained. Like, what the hell? First of all, Unchained is not even that oppressive of a deck. The deck is fine. It's a mid-range deck. It's not oppressive at all. It's okay. It's a cool deck. On the other hand, that deck is freaking 2 weeks old. How are we out here already how were people already out there asking for Unchained hits on the ban list? How were people out there saying like, oh yeah, the ban list was fine, I wish it hit Unchained though? Like, what the hell? Let the deck exist. Holy shit.
Every time it's been legal, it's strong. I guess really early on there were formats where it was only kind of okay, but you know, there have also been formats where this reads win the game. The law says, honestly speaking, most DM era staples have had their time as the most broken pieces of generic tools in their own respective time. This one is fine now, but I find it hilarious that a VG promo from 2003 still sees competitive play today. Although, to be fair, it also spent like 15 years seeing no play because it was banned. Dyer says this card is older than some of your viewers. Some! I've seen my metrics. Most of you have to ask your parents' permission before going on DisneyXD.com. Yes. Anyway, she says it sees regular play whenever a dark deck can use it. I think that Allure of Darkness has seen better days. You don't see it very often anymore because it's a slot that would be better served by like...
It's just decks are tight these days. And people... The only real time you still use Allure of Darkness is if your deck has benefit off of banishing, right? You need... It goes to show how like Yu-Gi-Oh has evolved over the years in some ways, right? Because back in the day, it was just good enough to have like filtering, a little bit of extra deck speed, right? Consistency. And it's like nowadays, it's like most decks, you don't even play a deck if it needs Allure for consistency, right? Like if my deck needs Allure to be consistent, my deck's probably not good to begin with. And a card that doesn't generate card advantage and just like filters through my deck a little bit, is just not that good. Like you want the card to do more than that. Especially with another thing is like going super deep into your deck isn't actually that beneficial in a lot of decks because you have so many once per turn effects, right? Like there's a lot of decks that have hard once per turns, and like seeing half of your deck isn't that relevant when you can only use each of the card only once, right?
a hand trap, but certainly there are still decks that play it. I think Blackwing does, right? Okay, Doug. Dyron, this is where you play the quit making fun of Nightbeam clip.
Don't make fun of Nightbeam anymore.
Coder says, this is my favorite card when it's playable in a format. It can be interruption, it can help you dodge interruption, and it can take an important piece of your opponent's board. Versatile, powerful in the right moment. One of my favorite cards to play. One of the best parts about the Kashtira format was that this card was very playable. It's just so fantastic when stealing an opponent's monster immediately converts into something as powerful as a Rise Heart, but it's also fantastic to just like switch an opponent's monster to defense position to deny Zeus. It just does so much. Jules says, guy came to locals with his Gravekeeper deck from over a decade ago trying to get back into the game.
There's some good... the thing is, it's unironically, when I saw the title of the video, I thought of Book of Moon and Enemy Controller, and that's it. I blanked after. But there's a lot of good mentions here. Like, Lava Golem is also... like, that card is freaking 2003? 2? That's insane.
Told him about cash.
I hope nobody mentions Anti-Spell. Like, if you're... Okay. Before finishing the video, if you think the best part about Yu-Gi-Oh! Not having rotation and being able to play old cards is the fact that we can play Anti-Spell Fragrance, you're a psychopath. Please, no one mention Anti-Spell.
Boards, and without blinking, he went, sounds like I could Lava Golem that. He got second that night. I love this game. I hate getting Lava Golemed. Yeah, I mean, this is a good one. I'm playing this card right now in Mikanko and Master Duel. Even
no, it's not a good one.
And some madman played this on Goki as a legit normal summon. Huh?
This one's cringe.
God, you're right. I thought I had locked that away in the annals of my mind, but... lo and behold, up through the cavities, yeah, that did happen. This one always gets billed to me as like, rotation, this could never happen if rotation was around.
This didn't happen.
It saw one weekend of play. Everyone went, oh, that's neat. I think I
still have mine.
Really responsible for people.
I still have my Mushroom Man 2s that I bought.
Staple, because they watched that short and they were like, if I watch it again, it becomes more true. No, Valor's not old. Boomer cards means like Monster Reborn and Change of Heart. This card's only a couple of years old, right? It's funny that this used to be playable because game...
Wait, Whaler? Whaler's 11 years old. Effect Whaler is 11 years old. Nah, dude. 13? 30? Is Whaler from 2010? Oh. No, you're right. It's 2010. Oh, 13 years? Oh, no, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about that. No, let's move on.
Lasted more than 2 turns. Now it's playable because it gets you some shit in Banish that triggers in Banish turn 1. My great Ash story is, in preparation for the 2017 NAWCQ, I had to purchase 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. There was just no way around it. It's a really strong card that, despite the fact that it was only really sideboarded during that Zoo format, was game determinative. So I nutted up and paid about $90 for them shipped to my house. This was happening at the same time as I was purchasing an engagement ring for Jillian. And I had told our landlord, please let me know when a package arrives because I didn't want someone to, like, porch pirate the engagement ring. So the landlord fucking told Jillian. And she was like, why did they tell you that a package arrived? And so I thought up a lie, and I thought it up quick. I said, oh, I was just getting a playset of Ash Blossom. And she said, oh. Unbeknownst to her, the ashes hadn't yet arrived. And she said, can I see them? And I said, no. Again, while I do like rotation, it does feel good to play a game in which you can see the history of the game splayed out in front of you in literally every duel. Although, you know, you could still do that if there was a second format, right? All you need to do is bifurcate the format, and then it would be fun.
All right. That was fun. That was fun, and I just finished my food, so that was perfect. Okay, perfect length as well.